What is going on, guys? Today we are doing day 4 of Grand Party. Let's see. Obviously, this day is a lot trickier. You can only see a couple teams, and as you get towards the end, you'll see less and less of the teams that are there. A lot of the last couple days are just complete RNG, so let's just go ahead and get into it. See if we can go ahead and secure that 12 wins. So we'll get into it. Luckily, there is someone using the strategy of setting your leader at the end to someone who is not G5. So I'm probably going to end up taking on that team. If that last team wasn't set up like that, I would probably take on this middle team because they have a quick team up front I could use my Dex team against, and then I could switch out my Dex team for my strength team for a quick team to help take out their second team. But since that's not the case and we don't have to worry about that, I'm just going to go ahead and take on this first match here. What I will try to do is I'll see if I can have the strength team go first. They don't have anything particularly threatening on this team, outside of maybe the Luffy Yamato who could do damage there. So I'm going to see if I can save the 2 bursts for the second match, because that is a much more fully complete team. There's a lot of back characters on the second team, so if I can save 2 bursts for that, it'll just make things a lot easier. So let's go ahead and try that out. And while waiting for this to go, just feel free in the comment section, let me know how your Grand Party is going so far. Have you got 12 wins yet? Are you still working? And just let me know how you're doing, how things are going for this season for you. Do you like the quick meta change? Do you think it'll last? Do you think it'll be done as soon as the season's over? Be curious to just hear what you guys think, and if you have any thoughts or opinions on kind of how this GP season is going so far. So you can see, even though they're doing a lot of damage there, we're still doing pretty good. We're still surviving, and as soon as the G5 Luffy goes, things are going to go much better for us. This character is just so broken in what he can do. In terms of the damage he can just output, and there's almost nothing that they can do to really stop him. And the fact that you can have so many good strength rare recruit characters, with the King and Cracker and Arlong in the background, it's such an awesome team, the strength team, with the addition of Kobe, Film Red Luffy, and of course Kaido. Fuji's going to hiss for a little bit here, but it won't be bad. And Kobe comes in and cleans up for us to help finish match number 1. We do have 2 bursts, or we'll have 1 burst already charged, and then we'll use the second one as soon as our specials go off. So, like I said, not really too concerned about the second team, just because we have, Nami Karina, who will help produce specials. We have G5, who's fully rainbowed, who will just hit for a ton of damage, and then my bench is pretty stacked as well. So we'll use our burst just before they start using their burst. Even if their Roger and Odin goes, we don't have to worry too much. Sorry, Roger and Whitebeard. We don't have to worry too much, because we do have Zoro and Luffy, who both have revives that we'll be able to use to kind of help keep us alive and keep us going. That's great. Nami Karina is going to slow everything down there. And I'm just going to use it just before Sanji starts going and start doing damage, just so we can start clearing and building up the next burst. So that hopefully by the time Luffy goes and does his attacks, I think we'll be in a good shape. And I might not need a second burst to beat it. It looks like, hopefully with G5 coming in, it looks like I might even be able to not have to use that second burst. Though, of course, with Roggy or Dory, there's a chance they could do special bind and things like that. But All right, two left. No chance that they can beat us here. So it looks like that's going to be a nice, easy victory for match number 1 today. All right, so let's go ahead and see what the characteristics look like for match number 2. So clicking on the match number 2, I can see these captains out here. So we have a G5, an Odin, and a Nami Karina. I'm probably going to go with Nami Karina just because obviously the Odin burst is a little bit scary for what they can do. And I could throw a Dex team out front and probably beat their first team. But then obviously the next 2 teams are kind of a toss-up. Where if I look at Nami and Karina, I could easily defeat that top team, I think, with my quick team that I have. And then the second team is most likely the Free Spirit team there. And I'll run the exact same thing, but because Nami and Karina don't have a burst, I should be able to easily get through there. So that's kind of the game plan of how I'm looking at it. I might use a burst on the first turn just because a lot of his back-end units are maxed. And I just want to make sure that we can kind of secure that victory. So let's go ahead and get right into it for this third match here. And this is my first time using Odin, so it'll be really interesting. Let me just see real quick. I just want to make sure that I did actually put my PvP flags into him. I did. Okay, perfect. Yeah, so he should be good to go. We'll go with our quick team first against his strength team, and we'll see what happens. Even though we do have strength, the G5 Luffy, Film Red Luffy, is still scary. And that's the reason that we might actually use our burst if it kind of gets close. I know typically in these teams you'll have Smoothie on the front line, but I actually don't have Smoothie, and I never pulled her. So it kind of is what it is. And like I said, I don't know how long this team is going to be meta. So I'm probably not going to throw gems into the PvP banner just for a chance of maybe getting Smoothie. You gotta love how quick a Kenu goes. It's just crazy. And I do have five slashers on the team, so it also activates Odin's special as well, which speeds up the attack that's here. So I think I will use the burst just to be safe. Probably use it as soon as Odin goes, I should be able to use it. Oh, looks like I might have to wait just a little bit longer. This is going to haste some of the strength team units back to the top. G5 Luffy is ready to go, so of course that is scary. So we'll have to see how this goes. This might actually end up hurting a little bit. All right, so I'm probably going to do here then, just because that strength team, like I said, is just nuts. I'm probably going to end up just saving burst number 1 to the next match, and then just save 1 for the final match. Now, there's a little bit of risk because we don't know what that third team that they have is. And if they have a strength versus our Dex, they won't have a strength because their strength is their top team. So yeah, if it's a Dex team, if it's a quick team or any of those other teams, we should be fine. So yeah, even though it stinks to lose the first match here, I think we'll be in good shape anyway for the next 2. But yeah, let this be a lesson of how crazy this strength team is, that even with a team like this, it can really do a bunch of damage. We're just going to go ahead and I say we'll skip to the end, but Luffy should help us do that for us. So we are going to take the L on the first match, which is fine. And then we just got to make sure that we win the next 2. So as I said, we'll do a burst right before our specials are ready on match number 2. And then for match number 3, which will be against our Dex team that we have, we'll use a special right before Big Mom and those guys go off as well. So nothing too scary from this team. It's kind of the exact team I thought I would see there. Like I said, the Nami Karina is always just a pain because you don't know how much special reverse she's going to do. But we have the same Nami and Karina, right? So we'll see how that ends up playing out. Hopefully ours goes first. That would be ideal. And then we can kind of go from there. We're going to use our burst here. Get them all pretty weak. It looks like their Nami Karina is unfortunately going to go before ours goes. But maybe Sanji here can help us out a little bit. We'll see. Unfortunately, he could not, which means we're probably going to be tanking a burst here before we get to do our G5 burst. But still, not the end of the world. We're just playing the waiting game. And this is just the painful part of RNG, right? But that's the good part of having Otama on our side. They do still have their Otama too, which doesn't help, but it kind of is what it is. Hopefully, when our Nami Karina comes in afterwards, we'll be able to really slow them down like they slowed us down for a while there. G5 here should do a bunch of damage, and of course he only hits with one unit. But at least their Nami and Karina are gone, which should help us considerably once we're able to actually slow them down. Unfortunately, their G5 Luffy might go. We'll have to see here. Oh, luckily for us, he didn't. So when Otama goes, she'll actually... when Nami Karina goes, they'll slow him down, which should help us, and hopefully we can get our G5 to go. This is probably going to time out this match here, but at least we'll have more units than they do on our bench, so we should be able to pick up the win there. And our burst is ready for the third match as well. Painful. These G5 hits just keep hitting one person, which is definitely not helpful. And that's why I chose to fight these guys, because their GP burst is literally just terrible. Like I said, we'll win this one because we have more units than they do at the end. So we'll take that and we'll go into the final fight. Like I said, it is my deck's tank team, so I'm feeling pretty confident that it will be okay. And I'm not worried about their burst at all. So they don't have a burst, we do. Should be easy. Like I said, I will use our burst right before probably Big Mom and Blackbeard. Or sorry, I'll use it after Blackbeard goes because he'll do the HP cut on that last fight. And we got the win. All right. The good news is it looks like it's a quick team versus a dex team, so that worked out very well for us, luckily. Because it wasn't a strength team, we at least knew that we had a good chance of winning this one because we weren't weak against them. So let's go ahead and see if we can't destroy this quick team pretty quickly. There we go. With that, we should get an easy win. They'll come in, Big Mom will half stat them, and then attack them, and we should be able to wrap up match number 2 with another victory. And there you have it, 11 wins. So let's go ahead and see what our final match of the day is going to look like. For the final match of the day, it looks like, oh, luckily we have another person who's following the leader strategy, so we're going to face them. If we weren't, just taking a quick look at the second and third team, if I can hit the red icon. I would probably take on that second team if all three of these were G5 leaders, but since, like I said, the first one is a no burst leader, and I have a Dex team right up front that can help take care of that quick team pretty simply, I'm going to go ahead and run that and see if we can't get 2 bursts ready and use those 2 bursts on stage number 2. I am really excited about the new law that is coming out. I do think that with his PvP abilities and the healing that he does, I think you might start to see a slight shift in these teams, especially defensive teams, where you might have like a Brook healer, then with that new law, and you might be able to really do some interesting stuff with terms of stalling out, which is how tanky that Dex team is. But yeah, so let's go ahead and see. Hopefully their specials come up pretty soon so we can get a nice quick victory here and finish up the day 12 of 12. Like I said, ideally I don't want to have to use a burst here. I could if things start looking like they might be going a way I don't want them to. But given the characters that are on here, I'm not too concerned at all. Once Blackbeard goes and once Big Mom goes, I think it'll be lights out for everyone that's here. G5 Luffy, the Gear 4 Luffy there just missed, but that's okay. Big Mom's gonna come in half stat and then just do a nice huge damage there. And then Blackbeard's just gonna come in and help mop up some of that. At this point, I'm not scared about any of the units that came in. I'm just gonna kind of let this go, save my burst, and then we will have 2 bursts ready for fight number 2. Where we'll end up using it and then securing the victory pretty easily and then getting the 12 out of 12 wins for the day. If you saw, we're down to 1 team now that you can see in terms of who your opponent has, so obviously tomorrow will be much trickier. But we'll take it day by day and see how it is. I am kind of worried about seeing those strength teams just because of how strong they are. Even against quick teams like I was showing there when I had went. So definitely be something to watch out for going into the last day, but like I said, it's all RNG, right? And that's why we try to get people to have their leaders set as someone who won't burst you as well. All right, so first match is done. We'll go ahead and go into the second match here. Looks like they're using the Dex team there with the new. Or that's the. I don't know if that's the older new Yamato that's there. Yeah, but either way, it's a Dex team. We'll destroy them. They do have a couple of free spirit characters on their team, so it should be pretty straightforward to go ahead and just beat them there. Before my specials are ready to go, I'm just going to go ahead and use one of our bursts. So that way, afterwards, our burst will be completely ready to go. And that will just make the match go much faster if we have our burst ready there. Nami Karina going to do some special reverse just to help out a little bit. And when Luffy goes off, if they stay in that same bunch that they're in now, it should be an easy 3 or 4 characters to get knocked out. Otama's just come in, just heal. Zoro's gonna be like, "Hey, hit me! I'll hit you back for 2k and pop. Why not?" Unfortunately, it hit 2 of those units, but it did end up taking out 2. If it would have hit more, we would have charged our burst and it would have just been over quicker. It's just going to take a little bit longer is all that means. Another special reverse. You'd love to see it. Still have a little bit of time before my G5 can go, so unfortunately it might be a while unless Zoro keeps hitting them for a bunch of damage. Just gonna use my burst here to wrap up this fight and call it a day. Wasn't necessary, but hey, we have it, might as well use it, right? So that is going to take us through our 12 victories for day 4 of Grand Party. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'd love to hear in the comment section how your day 4 has went. You know, are you 12 out of 12? Did you get some weird teams and ended up not getting to that 12 out of 12? So yeah, let me know in the comment section how your GP day 4 went. And we'll be back tomorrow where hopefully we can get 15 wins for the end of the season. Do not forget, when you're done for the day, just go in and edit your leader. Set them to just a random character who doesn't have a burst, just to make it easier for everyone. And that will just give everyone a nice, fair opportunity to get 15 out of 15 without having to rely completely on RNG. So until next time, be kind to each other, and I'll see you tomorrow.